Alright, this is another one. Reasons for the Jostle for Presidency by Igbo in a Pricky Nigerian partnership. Alright, the news in detail. The fear of dominance by one ethnic group over another in the Nigerian Union has been with us since Lord Frederick Lugard, the representative of the British colonialists, amalgamated the southern and northern protectorates of the British Empire into one entity called Nigeria in 1914, with him as the Governor General. Okay, over hundreds years after and 60 years post-independence from the colonialists, distrust rising from fear of dominance still occupies left, right, and center spaces of the politics and economy of the multiple ethnic groups in our beloved nation, Nigeria. So much so that after the Civil War of 1967 to 1970, the Igbo nation has been having a feeling of being treated by other ethnic groups in the union like a stepchild whose future is not so bright. Notwithstanding all the political mistakes made by some leaders of Igbo extraction would allow him, the tribe that is the third largest ethnic group in Nigeria, to produce the next president in 2023. Give the Igbos who occupy the eastern flank of our country a sense of belonging. Alright, whereas my intention in this intervention is by no means to discourage the Igbos from their quest for one of their own to be Nigerian president in 2023. It is important to amplify the odds act against them by taking a deep look at the presidency rotation calculus between the politicians in the northern and southern parts of Nigeria in critical ways that would reveal that it is more complex than it initially appears to be, especially to the uninitiated. The underpinning reason for the above assertion is that there are more granularly detailed angles to the rotation argument not in the public sphere that may vitiate the Igbo claim that it is their turn. Alright, and that's simply because the rotation of the presidency agreement is for it to shift between the north and south and not between the three major tribes of Hausa, Fulani, Yoruba, and Igbo, or three regions of north, east, and west, which was the original makeup of Nigeria at independence in 1960. The underpinning reason for the above assertion is that there are more granular, detailed angles to the rotation argument not in the public sphere that may vitiate the Igbo claim, but it is their turn. And that's simply because the rotation of the presidency agreement is for it to shift between the north and south and not between the three major tribes of Hausa, Fulani, Yoruba, and Igbo, or three regions of northeast and west, which was the original makeup of Nigeria at independence in 1960. It is mainly on the premise or ground that the presidency is rotating between the three major ethnic groups that the Igbo presidency case can be made. The Igbos may not like the summation that the rotation between northern, western, and eastern regions ceased to exist after the military took over governance, but that's the reality. And at this juncture, a bit of historical background is apropos to put things in context. Before the 1966 coup, the 1963 Constitution, which had the underpinning principle of true federalism and autonomy of the three regions, was in operation. But following the first 1966 coup in January, which brought in General Johnson Aguiyi Ironsi as the military head of state, the 1963 constitution got abrogated and thus ended the practice of true federalism while ushering the country into a unitary system via the so-called Unification Decree number 34 of 24th May 1966. What the Haranse regime decree did was to lay the foundation for the centralization of the government as it facilitated the putting into the exclusive and concurrent list some 62 items by some account controlled by the federal authorities, functions that were hitherto vested in regional governments. As the January 1966 coup was deemed as an Igbo coup, the counter-coup 6 months after July 1966 led by northern officers retained and sustained the unitary system, with major elements of it incorporated into subsequent constitutions, including the 1979 and 1999 constitutions foisted on the country by the military that bettered them. Also, let us not forget that in February of 1966, a month after RNC's emergence as head of state, Army Major Isaac Adaka Boro made the first secession move when he declared the Republic of Niger Delta, now famously known as Kaima Declaration, which was aimed at freeing up the Niger Delta from perceived Igbo stranglehold. All right, according to recorded history, the secession or insurrection, which was an action taken in protest and in bid to escape perceived Igbo dominance of power over the minorities in the region, was quelled after 12 days, and it has gone down in history as the first secession by an ethnic group in Nigeria and the first separatist movement that was rejected and quashed by the federal government. Remarkably and historically, it is the pair of General Agunyi Ironsi as head of state and Colonel Chukwuemeka Odumegu Ojukwu as governor of East Central State, both of whom are of blessed memory, that ordered the quashing of the insurrection by the first ethnic group that sought to separate itself from Nigeria, a mission that was later embarked upon barely a year after by Ojukwu himself in 1967, when he too declared the state of Biafra in his bid to separate the eastern region from Nigeria. The decision, according to historical accounts, was underscored and motivated by the mass killing of Igbos in the north and their subsequent exodus back to Igbo land due to the pogrom. Unfortunately, the Igbo secession resulted in the civil war that raged until 1970 and cost our country massive loss of human and infrastructural resources or capital. Ironically, a little over 5 decades after Adakaboro and Ijoman on behalf of Niger Delta people in 1966 attempted to decouple or deliberate the region from the Nigerian Union through secession, and then head of state General RNC and Governor Colonel Chukwuemeka Odumegu Ojukwu quashed the insurrection, an initiative that Ojukwu later copied from Adaka. Boro when he led the Igbos' attempt to secede by declaring the East Central region of Nigeria the state of Biafra in 1967. The distrust and attrition still persist. So essentially, apart from the Ijaw nation that first attempted to secede in February 1966 under the leadership of the indomitable Major Isaac Adaka Boro, an endeavor which was quashed in 12 days. The Igbo nation also attempted to secede in 1967 and leadership under the leadership of Colonel Chukwuemeka Odumegu Ojukwu, resulting in the civil war that lasted for 3 years. What is not in the public space is that the Northern Army officers who staged the counter coup of July of 1966 also wanted to secede, but they were later prevailed upon to demur by an unidentified advisor whom some historians believe was then British High Commissioner. What this reveals is that while all the other major ethnic nationalities in the Nigerian Union have at one time or the other attempted to or has had the intention to secede at one point or the other, only the Yoruba nation is recorded in history. I stand to be corrected not to have contemplated seceding since the amalgamation of both the northern and southern protectorates in 1914, and that appears in my view to be a veritable testimony that the Yoruba nation is one of the nationalities that is most committed to one Nigeria until the current movement for Oduduwa state emerged recently. Disappointingly, today the Igbos via IPOB and MASOB are still on the separatist path, albeit without engaging in armed struggle like Adakaboro or Chukwuemeka Odumegu or Juku. All right, that is where I'm going to draw the curtain right now. Well, the truth of the matter is that reason for the Jostle for presidency by Igbo in a Pricky Nigerian partnership. All right, the thing is, Nigeria as a country must understand that the Igbos are people who started this struggle, either they like it or not. And as it has been, every region must partake in leading the country. When it gets to your turn, let it be. That is what the agitation is all about, and it must be given. And that is it. Well, my people, on this one, I would like to hear more take from you on that. And remember to subscribe for more updates. Thanks and God bless.